Good morning, everyone, and welcome here today to our service today, and thank you for coming out for the parade. As I think everyone here knows, Memorial Day is a day where we remember those who gave their lives in service of our country to keep us free. That's how it was started after the Civil War. The person who first raised the issue was General John Logan, who was the head of the GAR, which is this gun behind us, erected by the Carmel Post 466 GAR, Grand Army of the Republic. This was an organization of soldiers who had served fighting on behalf of our country, the Union, in the Civil War. And it was kind of like the American Legion today, but it was concentrated on the Civil War. He wanted to honor all those who gave their lives for our country. Abraham Lincoln in the Gettysburg Address in about 2.5 minutes sums up everything we are as a country, but he makes the point at that time about the site at Gettysburg that we cannot hallow this or honor it any more than was done by those who gave their lives that we might live in freedom. But what he reminded everyone that day was that this is an experiment. The idea that people can run a country was an experiment, and it was almost destroyed in the Civil War. And he called that out. Made sure everyone remembered that. In Charleston, South Carolina, after the war, about 3,000 formerly enslaved black people marched to the site of the burial of Union soldiers that had been buried there by the insurrectionists, to remember and to recognize the freedom they had and what they had come from. Frederick Douglass said at Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day in 1871, "We must never forget that victory to the rebellion meant death to the republic. We must never forget that the loyal soldiers who rest beneath this side flung themselves between the nation and the nation's destroyers." And so the message that Lincoln had for us is honor their service by perpetuating this democracy and doing what we all can in our lives to keep this democracy moving forward. And I'm happy to say a few words about a friend of mine and a friend of many people here, Harry Orlow Bright Jr., who certainly did everything he could do to perpetuate our democracy and move our nation forward. The Honorable Harry Bright peacefully departed on August 4th, 2023. He was born in Washington, D.C. in 1929 and grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. As a youth, he studied violin and was a concertmaster in his high school orchestra. Harry later attended Howard University, where he was a member of the choir, the orchestra, and the track team. He was an accomplished violinist and an exemplary athlete. He later transferred to Seton Hall University on an athletic scholarship, served as a co-captain of the track team, and earned a Bachelor of Science in Education, graduating in 1951. He joined the Army immediately after his graduation, serving at Fort Jackson from 1951 to 1953. During his time at service, he was someone's going to have to tell me, Guidon? Anybody? Guidon, thank you. I knew I had some help in this crowd. The military, my dad was in the Navy, the military flag bearer for his platoon. During his basic training, he was asked to complete a physical fitness test. As part of the test, he was asked to run various distances and was timed on his running. His colonel was so impressed with his time record that he asked him to join the All-Army and All-Service track teams. Becoming part of military special services moved Harry's Army career forward, building morale, promoting goodwill, and creating positive image for the armed services. And he just brought us the sun. Here is where he fell in love with track and his desire to build community connections. Harry won many track events, including holding the 440-yard hurdle title, and was a member of the RX 440-yard championship relay team. I was on track. If you're old enough, you ran the 440 and the 880. It was the 400 and the 800. And I always said those extra 40 yards, I would have won. He had the opportunity to compete all over the world, traveling to Europe, Asia, and Africa with the AAU teams, finishing third in the Nationals.